Ben here in the Point by Patrol studio. So interesting story today. This morning I get a text message on my phone from some freight company and it looked like a complete scam. So I went ahead and blocked the number. And then, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes later, I get a voicemail from that same number. Phone number never rang because it was blocked, but I listened to the voicemail and it's, you know, some sketchy sounding voice and saying they had some delivery and to call them back. So I went ahead and deleted that voicemail and just ignored it entirely. Maybe 15-20 minutes after that, there's a big white box truck right out front of the house, and I'm sitting there like, yo, what is this? Like, I didn't order anything. What could these guys possibly be dropping off? And then there were two of them. I see one of them getting out of the back of the truck as one is walking up, you know, to come ring the doorbell. And I see this giant box and I was like, what on earth did I order? Turns out it was the ADRO wing that I ordered like, I don't know, 9 weeks ago. And I'd completely forgotten about, you know, checking up on it to see when it would arrive. And I didn't even get any tracking information. So surely it couldn't have been that, but super pumped. Got here on Christmas Eve, just out of the blue. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do some unboxing. Sorry about that. Also cooking a brisket, but we're gonna do some unboxing here so that you can kind of see the quality that we're looking for, and then I'm gonna put it on the car and take some shots. Let's do it. All right, let's see what we got here. Aside from a bunch of cardboard to break down later. Okay, first impressions. This is extremely light. Oh, wow. Look at that. And it weighs nothing. It's so light. Check this thing out. Absolutely beautiful. They've done an amazing job on this. And I mean, I can pick it up with 2 fingers. It's not heavy at all. It weighs nothing. All right, so last 2 boxes here. So we can only imagine what this is. Risers. End plates. I gotta say that it's packaged really well. A lot of care went into making sure that this was wrapped up nice to keep it in good shape. Again, it's so light, I didn't realize that there were 2 end plates in here, and they've got a sick curve to them. Look at that. To be honest, I don't even care if this adds more downforce at this point. It's just pretty. Looks like we got just the 3M spacer here. That'll go in this area. Keep it from getting all scratched up. A little bit of hardware. And some adhesion promoter. That ought to be interesting. Haven't used adhesion promoter since I painted one of my cars a long time ago. Back then it helped on the plastics. I don't even know what the process would be nowadays. All right, now this is the heaviest thing in the box for sure. It's definitely the risers. these are actually quality. Like, this is solid. And the cool thing is here, it says FL5 ATR, so that's pretty cool. Looks like they've already pre-installed the hardware to hold the wing onto the car. And then I gotta track down the hardware. It looks like there's also some adjustability on the wing. So I know that that's not something that I knew when I went into purchasing this. I thought it was just gonna be a fixed wing, but there is definitely some angle of attack adjustability right there. So that's a good thing. It means I get to play around with it a little bit and figure out what setting works best for me. But again, I'm blown away with the quality, and I mean, these are beefy. Blown away with the quality, and couldn't be happier so far. Let's get it on the car. I got a chuckle out of this. ADRO, not for everybody. You're damn right it's not for everybody, because, you know, if you only have one kidney currently, it wouldn't be a good idea to give the other one. But since I started out with 2 and now I'm down to 1, I guess I'm allowed to have this. All right, so here are my initial impressions from this, and I've only got the uprights on. It was a total pain in the ass. This right here, these can slide back and forth. You also have to reuse the factory seal, which doesn't really go that well. And in the YouTube video that I watched, it was by ADRO to put these on, they said that you have to reuse the seal. Of course, they didn't show them peeling the seal off of the old spoiler and reattaching it to the new. I just really hope I don't end up with water leaks. Also, the screws that hold this on, they're really short and it's hard to finagle them up there by myself. So top tip, if you're gonna buy one of these, I don't know, maybe buy some beers too and invite a buddy over to help you out. Because doing it alone, it wasn't fun. Also, use Loctite. The factory ones have Loctite. They're also longer screws. And they were actually kind of a pain to bust loose, but there's no mention of using any kind of Loctite on the ADRO video for the installation. If they use it for the factory, I would certainly recommend using it on a high vibration area that's, you know, there's a lot of air passing through this thing. There's gonna be vibration, and the last thing you wanna do is to have this thing come loose and hit the car behind you. So far a little frustrated. I'll be all right. But you know, when you give your left kidney for something, I mean, goodness gracious, I'm like the uni-kidney guy now. You would really think that things would be going smoother for you. All right, this stuff smells. This is the adhesion promoter, but also not in any instructions anywhere, assuming they want me to use this here to promote adhesion for this little sticker that I just had to trim up. And I'm gonna have to do the same to the other side. All right, so I've got one of these end plates on, and it's time to do the other one. And I'm gonna add some red Loctite, but I'm also gonna show you a bit of annoyance that I have here. So these stickers suck, by the way. Just I'm not happy with that at all. Sorry. But these, they don't just push through. They don't push through at all. And what happens when you have something that you have to thread, so it's got threads in the spoiler itself, in the wing, but then these, you have to basically ratchet through. And if you don't get them all the way through, or if they back up, what happens is they dog leg when you try to put them into another hole and tighten them down, which is not an ideal situation when you're dealing with something as expensive and delicate as this. So trying to get that started there, and you literally have to sit here and ratchet these in and hope that they go without splitting carbon fiber or doing anything ridiculous like that. So I'm not really applying a lot of force here. I'm just letting the wrench kind of do its work, but you basically have to thread this through. And then it's got, you know, the silly sticker on the back that you got to stick on. Like, I'm gonna say it right now, at the end of this, like, look, I know that we're gonna have a spoiler that looks good on the car, and you guys are gonna ooh and ah over the carbon fiber and all that awesomeness, but this really reminds me of like a project or something that, you know, like I made as a kid, for example, and I knew all of the flaws in it, but of course when you give it to mommy and daddy, they don't see any of the flaws, they just see this beautiful thing that their kid made. Even though you're sitting there knowing where all the corners you cut were, or where you didn't cut straight, or where you drew outside of the lines, whatever it might have been. And, you know, I'm sitting here thinking that I'm gonna end up feeling this way. Like, I'm gonna get this thing on and, you know, third party perspective is gonna be like, dude, you got the ADRO spoiler, whoa, you know, like you must have sold your left kidney for that, which I did. And I'm gonna be sitting there thinking about, you know, these shitty stickers that I had to cut on the back and how they don't look good. And hoping that people don't notice and that kind of thing. So, end rant here, but I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, dog leg this onto the other side of the spoiler. All right, I hate to continue being this guy, but I about had it. So see this hole? See this hole? So this is a specific size. I don't know what size that is. I don't know how they made this hole. This doesn't go through the hole. So now I have to sit here and force these through the holes, even though this, according to their video, is supposed to come in from this way, and then the lock nut goes on this side, from what I understand. But if it doesn't fit, then I can't really hold it there and slip this through here and expect anything to happen that's any kind of good. So now I'm going to use our little ratchet here, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna wallow out these holes using these bolts so that hopefully they slide through the next time that I go to put this up. And speaking of mommy and daddy stuff and my little project and the little cutouts, none of it fits. Literally none of it fits. And it's not my cutout that doesn't fit, it's the fact that they give you this, they've already taken too much away here. They say it's to keep water out. I've just introduced water. I'm literally gonna have to take these off. I'm gonna have to go to the store and I'm just gonna have to do it myself instead of using the stickers that they brought up, that they got with. So, you know, the saga continues. I'm gonna stop being a sourpuss for just a second here. I've got it installed. But as you can see walking up on it, you're like, man, wow, that's great, that's amazing. Looks cool, you know? And it does. I've got to hand it to the artist here. I really do. And it may look big in this video. It's really not that big. I think it looks good. Still annoyed. That doesn't change anything there. Absolutely doesn't change anything there. See all this dust? This is all the dust that you know, comes from having to basically force these screws through. So let me just go ahead and wipe that off. Oh look, a scratch. Oh man, that's crazy. From tools that I shouldn't have had to use in order to force said screws through. Oh, look, another scratch. Oh, look, tape that's gonna get water behind it. You know what? I'm still gonna do this thing justice. I'm gonna get out some glass cleaner. I'm gonna wipe all my dirty fingerprints off of it. And I'm, you know, probably gonna get my drone. I'm gonna take it down to the bottom of the cul-de-sac. I'm gonna do some sweet drone video just around the car for you guys and everything like that. Because a lot of you guys will probably like this. But if you were to ask my honest opinion, and if I was to do this again, actually I wouldn't do this again, and I'd probably just keep my left kidney. Just like anything else, I'm gonna take this to the track. I'm not like other YouTubers where, you know, install this stuff for no reason. I did buy this thing for two reasons. Reason number one, it looks like it provides additional downforce. Reason number two, it looks really good. And so I'm gonna do just that. And one thing that they don't mention, it does have angle of attack adjustment. Right now I have it set in the least amount of angle of attack. I can make it more aggressive, but I'm gonna try it this way first. Again, obvious frustrations with this. It just could have been done better, and it wasn't, and that's disappointing. And I hope that this video gets back to the folks who care, so that they can make it a more enjoyable experience for anybody else that's considering buying this thing. So maybe take what I said with a grain of salt. You're gonna make your own decision anyway, so I don't have to explain any of that to you or really give you too many more opinions. But you know, next time I go to the track, which will be next season, I am gonna put it to the test. I will let you know how it does, and I hope it does a good job. I really do, especially for their sake. Because gosh, I'm still pretty annoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys.